All right, all right, all right.
All right,
It's a beautiful
cool.
Wednesday. I know I'm doing this show 2 hours a little bit later, but hey, when you got some appointments, that's what you got to do, right? The show must go on.
No problem, man.
Nope.
It's 9 o'clock over here, but that's fine, dude. No worries.
No, and then oh, let me get this set up here. I forgot to get this set up because I always have a couple things set up just to make sure that I know if. Oh, let me turn this down. If the show gets taken down, I would actually know. So I should have had that ready. I thought I did, but okay. Now, originally, we're gonna be talking about basically later on in the show today. We're gonna be talking about like the science kind of behind the Mandela effect. I actually have an article that I kind of pulled the title off. Okay, now the actual title is called. I'll just let you know what the title is actually called. It's called The Mandela Effect, Explaining the Science Behind False Memories. Now, that's technically the title of this article that came out in the UK. Now, I took the word false memories because I didn't want people to think that, hey, look, Eric is trying to say it's all fake. He's trying to dismantle everything. What the hell is he doing? And that's not the case at all. Understand, you know what I mean? I mean, serious. I mean, people sometimes judge a book by its cover. You know, they read a title and like, what is Eric trying to do? It's not. But to understand something, you also have to understand the science behind it. To say something is real or not is like your famous words, Bob, is you also got to debunk in a lot of the same ways.
Yeah, because you can't convince anybody of anything unless you put the effort in yourself to debunk first, man.
Exactly. You know? And this article talks about like the science behind it, and that's fine. That's find out, because one thing that I've learned is, you know this, everybody knows this, that everybody wants to find out in life the truth. It could be anything you research. It doesn't have to be Mandela. It could be with the governments. It could be with the paranormal. It could be with the round earth, the flat earth, space, ground, water. Everybody wants to find their truth. But the problem is about finding their truth is exactly what it says. They want to find their truth. So even if the truth hits them right in the face, if it doesn't line up on what they believe the truth is, then it's not the truth. That's the problem with most people out there. They want to find the truth only if it lines up on their beliefs. And
it's in a world of liars, dude. It's a world of liars, so nobody fucking knows. I'm like, what are you talking about your truth? In a world of liars, you're going to tell me that liar convinced you of something and now it's true? I'm like, come on, man. Use your own discernment.
It's kind of like I like to live in a we do kind of world where you think everything is haunted, but all of a sudden, if you found out that when you pull that mask off, everything you thought was paranormal turned out to be the janitor guy that's all fake. And that's fine.
Scooby-Doo.
You know what I mean, Bob? If that was exactly the truth of the whole thing, I'm okay with it. It doesn't have to be the truth that I want it to be. I wish I know something really is paranormal, spiritual, a word change, a scene change. I would know. But if you came to me and said, Eric, that Dottie on Moonraker was a scene in it with the braces, and they cut it out and they put the girl without the braces. Even though I don't want that to happen, but if you told me that there was actually a footage of a swap change at the theaters, I'd rather hear a truth than not. Even though that doesn't line up with what I want it to be.
That's why I have truther friends. I have truth. I have people. I have controls that tell me rethink it. They do the work. I use Tony in the sidebar, for example. He's one of my fucking no-nos. He's like, no, let's do some research and let's debunk it first. So I got people who debunk first. Please debunk first. Let me know if I feel like a fool or not by saying certain. Do the work. Surround yourself by controls. Don't just have people jump on your bandwagon. Yeah, man, I remember that too. No, dude, it could be wrong. So I've got researchers trying to debunk. I want to hear the debunks first. What's left over? If it makes me scratch my head and say, God damn it, that is plausible. It might be change. It might be a change in plausible.
Exactly. You know, like Friday, like when we did our show on Monday, And I said right out the bat, I don't know exact shit about how all the stars and the constellation works, right?
Yeah.
You were on, and then we actually got Black Sheep on, and
Yeah.
and then the Nile, where they kind of give an explanation of what they think it is, and that was awesome because we learned something. I can't say everything they said is exactly correct because I don't know, but sharing
the narrative. We base ours off the narrative that we learned about from books, literature, information passed on from mouth to mouth. We go outside the box on other stories, have our own hypothesis on it, have our own twisted ideas, run it up there, see how it goes in the flagpole, anybody salutes, and then have it available to be debunked and torn down too. Yeah. That's what science is.
So before we dive deep into it, we'll let more people come in. By the time they come in, I'm going to play a video from our friend Grandpa's World. And I choose this one. And remember, when I play these, I don't watch them. I want to hear them fresh. He has, Do UFOs Exist? And I thought that title kind of go along with the show. The science behind Mandela effect, real, false, or not. We don't know. So I thought this title kind of match it. And like I said, we don't watch his videos. We watch it live here for the first time. So we don't know what is said. All we know, he could say, man, I went up Bob and Eric's Gypsy Road channel one time. And we were jerks. We don't know he's going to say that. I don't think he's going to say that, but he could say that.
Yeah.
But here, let me play his intro and I'll get ready.
Welcome to Grandpa's World, and this is Grandpa. Today we're going to do aliens, abductions, UFOs. The question is, does UFOs exist? Are aliens real? With such large universe and the discovery of even more universes, the answer to this question must be a very loud, resounding yes. Just as there are colors that we humans can't see, but other animals can, the fact alone has me convinced we simply are not alone. We never have been alone. Our ancestors have told us this by leaving drawings on the rocks, the cave walls, stones, and pyramids. There's many different species that live here on Earth, from the tiniest bacteria and viruses to the crustaceans, mollusks, and the echinoderms to us. Okay, look around at all the different species. And the people that look like horses and cats are just different colors, which makes everything and all of us individually unique. There are rumors that a lot of us came from different planets, that we ruined our planet or just wanted a new beginning and found that we could live on this planet. Surely these aliens brought with them their animals to ensure their survival. Aliens mixed with the humans here on Earth ensured their survival here. Just like we are looking towards the different planets now to ensure our future for generations to come, we need to stop making fun of people who truly believe that they are different from, as long as they seem sane, until we have solid proof that the believers are wrong. Anyway, it's just my opinion. That's it for Grandpa's World. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, all that. Have a good day. We'll see you later.
Awesome. Well said, man.
It is well said. And, right off the bat, he said he does believe. Okay. So even though he's telling stories that he doesn't know if they're 100%, accurate or true, he's saying he does believe in it. And that's why he researches every story, because sometimes within those stories, you can find codes, you can find,
Oh, I do.
And hopefully one day, before we all go on to the next level of life, whatever that is, that maybe we'll be able to for ourselves, find that answer for ourselves.
Valhalla. Lots of fighting, lots of drinking, lots of dancing women that also can kill you at the same time. Yeah. Lots of cool shit.
Even Valhalla, there's rules within the warriors that they have to do to be able to even be allowed to go to Valhalla.
Oh yeah, if not, you go to hell.
They have to die with a sword in their hand to be able to go to Valhalla. So like if a Valhalla warrior, you call them Danes or whatever you want, if they die, if they get killed in their sleep without a sword in their hand, they don't get to go to Valhalla in their beliefs. You have to die fighting.
Well, that's a myth.
It's all myth.
Yeah, because the women that have died during childbirth, there's all kinds of pagan. They've served, they've fought. They also fought. So not everyone's going to have that sword next to them, or that hatchet, or that whatever weapon they have. That one of the myths is like they have to have a sword. That's kind of especially for the gals. Like, poor gals, they didn't got no sword.
Because one story goes, if you get killed, like say you get killed in your sleep, and you didn't have a sword in hand, to be able to send his body to Valhalla, I actually know a little bit on this. One myth is you have to find almost a cup of blood from a family member of his DNA.
Really?
And then you have to find the killer who killed him. So basically, you right before you kill that person, you got to take that cup, or in those days they had the blood in a pouch. When you killed the guy who killed that person in your sleep, you got to stab him through the pouch. So the blood of the family member DNA kills that person, and that will allow a path for that person to go to Valhalla. That's what I'm saying. There's different myths, and there's different stories.
Old myth. It's old. Yeah, it's so nobody knows. It's the ancient, man.
Right. This person says only men go to Valhalla, though. And that's true in some of the myths.
Yeah. Again, all the stories. It's so old. It's like older than Christianity, older than Judaism, older than all of old paganism. Goes way, way back. So the stories have been. Everybody knows that stories have been changed. Just like.
Yeah.
I mean, I got my, your own family has their own idea of what it is. This family has their idea of what it is. As long as you have a good heart, that's the number one thing. You're kind of going to get through the gates there. And you kind of, yeah.
I'm not saying Valhalla is even real. I'm saying some of the stories of how Valhalla is supposed to work.
Yeah.
And it is interesting. And now that theme kind of does make sense, right? If you didn't get to be allowed to go to Valhalla, as long as you kill the killer with a family member's DNA, because we've talked about DNA blood out throughout generations, how important.
If they're adding that to it, okay. Yeah, I mean, if not, you go to hell, and hell isn't burn fire. It's not fire. It's actually, hell is boring. Hel, Hel, was the son of or daughter of Loki. So the daughter of Loki runs hell, Hel, hell, not hell, Lhell, but hell, Hel, and it's supposed to be boring and nothing. So if you had a boring life and you were a shitty fucking person and you didn't fight for anything or whatever your thing is, you're just a shit. You spend a long time, not forever, but you spend a period of time, kind of like where we are now. Anyway, you spend a period of time with just boring ass, shitty ass life. And then you get a second chance to go.
Yeah, here's one. Those myths sound like there are different dimensions they could go to. All we know about Valhalla is a different dimension.
It is technically it is a different dimension. You're right.
I mean,
anything? Even heaven is a different dimension. Yeah.
I mean, a lot of those wars. If you think about those wars in the 900s, whatever you want to, centuries or whatever, you had the Christians. The Christianity, the religion, believes that anybody doesn't believe in religion are heathens. Gods. They're Valhallas. They don't. And the funny thing is, Christians don't believe in Valhalla. Valhalla don't believe in their Christians, and they fight all these wars because of religion. Religion is still the number one thing that causes almost all the wars in the world.
And not one of them actually believe in God. So I'm like, you don't actually believe in God, do you? You just wear the cross.
Well, it's just so crazy on how it's just crazy to how religion is the number one thing that causes death. It's war.
Yeah.
I mean,
you don't actually believe fighting.
I haven't seen her in a long time. Our good friend Window to the Soul. She was on the show one time. So it was fun having her on, and she's loving my Vader hoodie. Yeah, this is my Vader hoodie.
Yeah.
She noticed it. I know. I like it too. That's why I have. That's why I'm wearing it today. I'm actually wearing a Star Wars shirt beneath. Also, it's a nerd geek day. It's a nerd day. So
I always dress like a nerd. I mean, everybody is. Who the fuck's not a nerd, man? I mean, I'm
Bob
technically
has the bloody they like. Bob will be food for the M in the future.
Thanks. That's something to look forward to. I'll make a big ass meal for someone. Cool. Mine as well. I go Buddhist, or was it Zoroastrianisms, where they place the body on top of this particular building and then let the birds have the body. Oh shit! Throw me up there. Like let the birds have me.
You know what's interesting? I'm gonna tell you something a little interesting. It might not be interesting to everybody in the chat or not. It might not. It's not even that big of a thing at all. But it was interesting. The movie theaters before when the pandemic hit, they shut down the movie theaters. The last day that I went to the movies on the first time they did a shutdown was March 13th, the number 13. And then, of course, we know about 3-4 weeks ago, they just did another shutdown in Washington. They shut down the movie theater. And the last movie I saw was that comedy horror movie on Friday the 13th. So it was, so I'm not saying it's
yeah. I got a couple of 13s. I got a couple of 13s. Am I what the fuck news?
Yeah,
by accident.
I was driving the wife to the doctor. She goes, you know, the first time they shut down was on the 13th, and he goes, and the second time they shut it down was on the 13th. I'm like, oh wow, it was.
Once you start noticing that there, I mean, in fact, I've got the people that I trust are born on the 13th. 100% wholeheartedly, the most trustworthy people I know are like on the 13th. And it's like, and they're the ones who see the 13th. Now, again, let's debunk it. It's their birthday, so they always see 13th. However, it is ironic that it does pop up in weird places all the time. And in fact, I have a what the fuck news tonight. I'm like, okay, I mean, how many 13s in this son of a bitch? And this isn't my information. This is really information I relay to other people. This is what literature has put into it. So you tell me what's going on. You know?
Yeah, it's just fun. You know,
it's fun.
You know, because the thing is, you don't get a lot of 13s on Fridays in a year. You get a few, and it's just kind of cool that both shutdowns and a pandemic happened on the 13th for a theater. It was just like kind of a cool little, and I didn't even know it until the wife said it today. Like, remember the last movie we saw was on the 13th in March 13th?
She's starting to see it. She's like, everywhere I go, there's a license plate that adds up to like 5 and an 8. And then whatever happens, and someone walks by with a 13 shirt, where you're thinking about 13, and like 2 seconds later, someone walks by with a t-shirt with a 13 on it. You're like, oh, come on. I call it the probability effect. What's the probability of this? 1 in a billion? What the fuck? The probability effect.
Well, let's look here. Guys, I'm gonna start what the fuck news with Bob, but and then right when we get into the Mandela, the science of the Mandela effect, I would like you guys to go to put your vote in the community page, and the questions that I put in there came right off the article that this show is titled on. So it wasn't the 4 choices was something I made up. It actually was 4 things that came from the article. So cool. You guys could go in there and do that while we play what the fuck news. You know, that'd be awesome. So let me get Bob's ready. And then let me see here. Let me get it ready.
Yeah.
Let me get it ready here. And then
here we go. Even I haven't seen it yet. I made it right before the show.
Let me see here.
Welcome to What the Fuck News.
I pressed the wrong button. I was pressing it again, so that was my fault. Let me hit volume button. Here we go.
Here we go.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Robert Wood What the Fuck whatever channel, What the Fuck News. Mostly about the stars and all those wonderful things that you guys thought you knew. But I'm really stupid.
So I like to share with you the things that I learned, and maybe you know about it, and most of you do, and then some of you don't, like myself. So if you don't know about these things, you get to hear it from someone just like yourself. Now, I'm not claiming to be here, but we're all from somewhere, but who cares? Let's talk about 1994. 1994 was really, really, really important because it was the year we found out that we're all aliens. That's right. Each and every one of you are aliens. We're not from the Milky Way. Now, if you believe in such things, it doesn't matter if you don't. I don't care. It don't matter to me. But what I'm telling you about is the Milky Way. And when you guys are in school, you always learned about the Milky Way. Mom, where are we from? We're from the Milky Way. Okay, but now you're not. They've made a big ass mistake because in 1994, they found out that we are in fact not from the Milky Way. We are simply diving into the Milky Way. We are from another galaxy. That's right. I'm not bullshitting you. We're from another galaxy, Milky Way. Our entire solar system is from an entirely different galaxy. It's the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. You see, imagine a flat plane like this, and then imagine a big ass Ferris wheel in a big elliptical circle. That big ass elliptical circle, just like you see on the NASA symbol, is exactly what I'm describing. It's an elliptical circle. And on that elliptical circle, just like the NASA symbol, you've got a little ball. And that little ball is the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. And that's where we're technically from. Now, we're kind of in the debris field. And it makes a big circle into the Milky Way. Comes out of the Milky Way, up and around, and it continuously does like a big circle. There's another one at Canis Major. But we are part of the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy and has been doing this for about 3 billion years. So we've been continuing, and I think it's even longer than that since whatever's up there is about 13 billion years old. 1994, 13, a lot of fucking 30. Who cares? We're not going there. But what's important is that we are actually part of a different galaxy, and it makes a perfectly little loop. And they found this out. It leaves ripple marks in the center. It actually goes to the center, the galactic center, and the galactic center actually it points to if you use your Eigen values, and I'll show you examples of that to measure into the center of the galaxy, where two galaxies are actually merging. They're literally merging. A Sagittarius is merging into another galaxy. Forgive the dog for jumping in front of the camera. But anyway, he gets excited. He's from Britain. But anyway, moving forward, I want to talk about the NASA symbol. Now, the NASA symbol is really important in this conversation because the NASA symbol also shows a circle. And back in 1959, the second day that NASA actually started was invented, they invented the NASA symbol and logo, which includes the circle. So it's ironic that they would have a circle going through the flat plane that says NASA, and a circle that looks identical to the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. It's weird. And before NASA had that symbol in 1959, there was the Sagittarius, it was October 1st, I don't know. Anyway, back in the day, way back, there was an original NASA that was NACA. Why would they even have anything NASA before NASA? Because NASA came when they got the Operation Paperclip, guys. But hey, that's a whole different fucking story. So what I want you guys to realize is you're not from the Milky Way, so stop saying you are. It's completely wrong. You're fucking aliens. And over time, we're going to end up, the solar system is going to end up leaving the Milky Way. And remember, there's two melding together universes, and it's actually, we're also in Sagittarius A is where it's at, that we got the wow signal. The wow signal is really interesting. Do your own research on the wow signal because it came in the intergalactic galaxy point Sagittarius A, exactly where the two are mixing and grinding and coming through like a big ass Ferris wheel, like the all-seeing eye or whatever. But then again, that's not here or there. You need to do your own research. But this is what the fuck news. Those of you Sagittarius dwarfs, just like myself, make sure you always correct yourself. When someone says we're from the Milky Way, say, no, we're not. We're obviously not. But that's what the fuck news. And I want you guys to do a lot of your own research. And again, look at the NASA label that I'll include on this video. And you guys do your own judgment of whatever. And check the timestamps and dates of certain things. You're going to scratch your head and say, what the fuck? I don't get it. But that's all I got today. Have a wonderful day and keep your eyes to the stars because it's weird.
Eric, hold on.
Welcome to What the Fuck News.
Okay.
No, hold on. You cut it. Oh, you cut it early. I had the symbols.
Oh, you did? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Well, it's only like they're like 4 seconds a piece, but I wanted you to see the actual elliptical circles, and then at the end of it's going to show the NASA symbol. And you're going to say, "Oh shit, they're identical."
Okay, hold on. Let me get it back up. I thought you were done.
Yeah, they're just the quick pictures. There's only like 3 pictures, but you'll see what I'm talking about. That way, it kind of proves what I'm saying. I don't look like a fool.
Okay, hold on.
In other words, I'm showing you residge. I'm showing you the residge for what I'm saying.
Okay, hold on.
I'm showing you evidence. Okay.
Hold on. Here we go. My bad.
It's all silent. So there's that one, and there's the other. Now look at these. That's the, and look at that. That came out, Eric. That came out in 1958 or whatever, 1950, the 50s, late 50s. They made that symbol. That NASA symbol is see there's that's the separate galaxy that we're in. As the literature goes, people, flat earthers, relax. This is information for you. Sun Tzu, the Art of War. Know what the enemy is saying. So. That circle and that ball, you see a swollen ball there. That swollen ball is the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy that's making a loop around and diving into it. Now look at the NASA symbol. Now they say there's no, that doesn't mean no. They're telling you what they're thinking and what they're doing. They're telling you this. They're telling you that this symbol. Okay, Eric, we talked about breaking down symbols, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the show. What you guys are seeing there is that circle, which just changed for me, by the way. It used to be the other direction. And then before that, it was never even there. But now it's there. That ball that's on there is the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. That also has a ball on it like the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. So look at the NASA symbol like the Milky Way galaxy in a flat plane. And then the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy goes around and submerges into it, plunges into the pancake. Right? It goes around and plunges into the pancake, and that's where the two galaxies are merging, and has been doing this since they say 3 billion years. I don't know where they get the numbers from, and so you see that, and also you got to look at that. It's kind of where the idea of a cross, when you get an eigen value. Now, there's another symbol on there, Eric, at the very last one I want to show you. This is going to be like,
well,
one more symbol.
Tom Murr wrote, they call it Victor symbol, but we know it's a serpent tongue.
Well, it's not a serpent tongue. That's the thing. Now, again, you're right in that aspect if you want to use the mythology behind it. That is I'm telling you the codes. That is a form of measurement. Understand, that is a form of measurement that measures that vector. It's a vector, and in mathematics they use that to measure where you are in an eigen value. So it's to measure the matrix. Okay, understand this. So you have a matrix. Imagine a grid like a chessboard. And within that chessboard is one square. And you're trying to measure your point to that one square in the middle of that chessboard, that black square. That vector is another measurement you use for measuring, another symbol for measuring the eigen value within a matrix, within the matrix. So everyone says we live in a matrix. We live in a simulation. Well, that is the math to measure where we are located within a matrix. It's not measuring like a map plane on the planet, like a big whatever flat plane or on a regular street map or whatever. It's measuring the matrix. You know, the matrix all around you, whatever you want, the simulation. That's how you measure. It's one of the mathematical symbols to measure. So how and why is NASA that's going into space using measurements that you would use for a matrix? You understand that? They're representing math to measure a matrix, not outer space, like a location. Like I'm going up to Mars. It's that way.
Wrote, what's the Victor? You know, he wrote Victor twice, so I don't know if she's asking
Victor. That's the vector. Yeah, if you do differently. Yeah. In fact, what I'm gonna do, Eric, is oh God, I have to send it to you. I'll have to. We'll move along in a second here, and what I'll do is I'll send you another example, a basic. Okay, there's another symbol on here, so let's go to the other symbol, and it'll tell you what it is. There's one more symbol, and it'll answer that question.
Well, on the video here.
Yeah, on the video there. One more symbol should be there. There it is. You just flashed it. Put that one there. Back it up for a second. There it is. Now put it on big screen.
Okay. Hold on.
So I'm trying to make this easy for everybody. So can you guys see? You see the swirlies? That is the matrix. That's why it's not a linear. It's not these straight lines. Some of it's straight lines. Some of it's bent lines. You know, you just can't measure. The matrix is liquidy. I mean, reality is liquidy. Theoretically, okay, we're using theories, people. It's liquidy. So how do you measure within a context of liquid? Blah blah blah. You use an eigen value to locate, and you use the vector to get there, basically, like the car to get there. Okay, the vector gives you a different direction to locate where you are within the space of a matrix. A matrix. So how do you measure matrix? Well, you use the eigen, and they actually used it in the movie the End Game when Iron Man says, "What's the eigen value?" All of a sudden, he's using the eigen value to do time travel. To do time travel, you use the eigen value. You use the vector. Victor. So this is kind of just look at it. Get an idea, and then go do your own research, people. I don't want to make this overly complicated for everybody. I try not to make it too complicated, but there's a lot to be said about what's going on with reality. And if your enemy is using these methods, then you need to. If the people behind the curtain are using these methods, and obviously you saw that NASA symbol, that is in their eyes Sagittarius dwarf galaxy plunging into the Milky Way galaxy. Vector sector. You could say it that way. Yeah, you can say it that way. Later on, I'll send you kind of a different picture. It's easier for people to understand. When it comes to this is just the headache measurement process to find it. The important thing is they're saying that we're not from the Milky Way anymore. We are on that Ferris wheel, and we are part of the debris field that is plunging into the Milky Way. And we're simply within the Milky Way, but we are technically, our home is Sagittarius Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. If that makes any sense. And there's another galaxy plunging into this big old huge pancake they call the Milky Way, and that's Canis Major. Canis, which means dog, wolf in the Bible. Anyway, major. So a whole lot of canine shit going on too. That's merging into the Milky Way. Again, people, if you're flat Earth, take this information, know what behind the curtain discussions are, throw it away if you want to, be smarter than the other people. Say, well, I happen to know about this. So when you see the NASA symbol, go, well, you know what that is? This is what they're telling you. Now, remember, the secret is they have to tell you the answer. This is what they're thinking. They have to give you the answer. Ask, you guys don't believe me? Ask Tony. Tony even knows he doesn't know what he said. The bad guys have to give you the answer for it to be real. They give you the answer. So they're using mathematics within their symbol for NASA, the vector, and then the wheel, the other galaxy. So this is kind of where that, we talk about breaking down symbols. Well, that's where that comes from, Eric. That's where that wheel comes from with the ball in it. It's Sagittarius dwarf.
Or
galaxy.
dog spelled reverse.
Or dog spell reverse. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's kind of good. I didn't think about that. Dog, God. Yeah, the Canis major. There's Canis major, Canis minor. So we got, see, here's little star map there, and I've been going through the star map looking at all these weird ass constellations I ain't never heard of. Yesterday, Black Sheep talked about the whale. I was like, what whale? I don't remember no whale. And sure enough, he's right. It's on there. There's an eagle. There is a giraffe. M.A. Mandela affected. He did a whole show on it. You guys need to get his permission to see his channel. Great fucking stuff. Information. Did it all on the camel something, but it's a giraffe. There's a giraffe on here somewhere. The giraffe constellation. 88 constellations, really? 88 Twin Towers, but anyway, it even goes anymore. I got all kinds of symbols for shit. 88 Twin Towers, constellations. Everything's relevant in the sky now. If you guys want to be figuring out what's behind the curtain, what they're discussing in private quarters, keep your eyes up there. This is what they're talking about. So anyway, congratulations, Eric. You're not from the Milky Way anymore.
God damn it.
You're not from the Milky Way. Not only that, remember, you have a new sign. I think you're in Aries now.
Aries now, yeah.
And you are from the Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. Well, he's good on here because he gives me all the extra stuff I didn't know about, so I get to go do research when he talks. Everybody gives each other. It's like the Last Supper table. Everybody brings something to the buffet, and you take that information and you take it and you run with it. How'd you make this recipe, man?
Yeah. No, very open people that was on here on Monday. That they don't get on your case if you don't agree or you don't think their philosophy was the key philosophy, because she had a different philosophy like you and Paul, and Paul has philosophy is a little bit different than you and her, but it was all cool. It was all like, it was awesome.
Yeah, we did all the research. We were going through all the stuff. Like, where is the sun actually stopping? At what dates do they stop in? And Mandela, maybe it's Mandela. Yeah, so we want to talk about Mandela's. That's all a Mandela effect for me, Eric. I worked at an aerospace museum. You know me. I worked at Smithsonian. I worked at Fort Lewis Historical Museum, Army Museum, and again back to the Aerospace Museum with NASA guys retired. We've never. Eric, I'm a graphics guy. I worked at the exhibits. You can vouch for that. I've never put any information up about us being part of Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. And it's been out since 1994, which if you look at 1994 is 13.
So guys,
13.
Guys in chat, about 15 minutes, we're going to talk about that article, the Mandela explaining the science behind false memories. Of course, I titled the show False Matrix, just so people don't get the wrong idea about what we're trying to do here. We're not trying to debunk Mandela effects or none of that. We just want to talk about all of it, the science, the math, everything that's involved in it. Before we get there, let me ask people in the chat. Hold on. What does she say to Bob? I'm going to email.
Oh shit! I'm back.
Oh no, she wrote, I'm going to email you, Robert. I have been trying to figure out the shipping. I think I can squeeze it in a letter envelope. Otherwise, it's like $37 to mail anything out of the country. I thought, dude,
I feel bad. Don't do that.
Can I say something here?
Send it to Eric, and then I'll be at Eric's in like 2 months.
No. $37. That's what's going to cost to send it out of the country, dude. Yeah, that's fantastic price. I'm going to tell you why. I went to the post office yesterday. Because my wife is sending her mom something in the mail, and she lives in New York. The box was no bigger than this. The sending here in the U.S. to New York was $57. It wasn't heavy. It was just in a box. So $37, dude, that's a fucking bargain. $57. Like I'm sitting here like, holy shit, $57 to send something to. I know it's New York. I know Seattle, New York, the two farthest parts of the United States of America, but it wasn't heavy, Bob. It was just a regular box. It's expensive nowadays.
Yes, maybe Mandela, you can send it to Eric's. I'll have Eric send you guys do a private little information thing. Send it to Eric's in the States. I will be in the States not too long from now. I'll be back there for a little bit visiting. So it's so much. Don't waste your money. Please don't do that. I feel bad. Don't send it to England. Send it to Eric. I'll be there to get it.
Every 6 months, so it's getting close to that time. So Mandela, I get my email address. My email address is actually in the subscription with a Bob. There's a PO box address in the subscription, Mandela. It's already in there. It's actually Bob's PO box address.
Yeah.
So
my PO box address.
It's already there. Bob's PO box address is actually already there. So
yeah, I got a PO box in the States. I got a PO box in England. I got a PO box in other countries. I got PO boxes all over this fucking back of this turtle. But send it to the one Eric has posted here. Yeah, please don't.
It's already in the description, and that's actually your PO box.
It would make me feel better. Don't spend no money like that.
I know, $57, and then I had to add some stamps to because I want to send some stuff out. So total price I spent at the post office was $67. It was just like I was just like, man, it was almost like, is it cheaper to send it through UPS or FedEx? But you know, she wrote, "Oh, I see."
You're perfect. Thank you. I feel better.
It's already there. Bob's box is already there, and I go there once a month just to make sure that, you know.
Yeah.
Let's
get my fan mail.
Wow, Eric, love your rant. Well, sort of rant. I'm sorry. Hey guys, in the chat, before we get to the main topic, do you guys mind in the chat? I'm gonna get a little nerdy here with my what the fuck news. It's not really what the fuck. It's kind of a nerdy, kind of a movie type of deal, okay? So it is nerdy. So a lot of you are probably going to drop off, come back. I know it, but it's a nerd thing here. Now, sometimes, Bob, when I watch a movie, I like to watch a movie in a different kind of a different point of view, okay?
Yeah.
Now, last night, I watched Man of Steel, the 2013 Superman movie. Okay, because I don't like the 80s version Superman. I never liked him. I said it when Jay Dyer was on here on our show that I did not like how Superman brought in the time machine element or the time travel element to save his love. I didn't like that. And I couldn't believe when I watched the movie where this guy named Lex Luthor is supposed to be the most intelligent criminal of all times. And in that movie, he was with the two dumbest people in the world. The movie just did not do it for me. I hate to say it. I didn't care for the Christopher Reeve Supermans. I thought they were stupid. I did not enjoy them. Okay. Now, 2013, Man of Steel.
Snake.
But people did not like this movie. I thought this movie is the most underrated, brilliant superhero movie I've ever saw. Because listen, I did not like Superman. I thought, no, I don't like a character who's too powerful, right? When I saw Man of Steel, it was like going back to the basics of what a person would be really like living in this world. Okay, now saying that, man was boring. No, man was that boring. No, fucking Man of Steel was not fucking boring. It's the best superhero movie ever made. Now, Bob. Now, first of all, let's create this movie. Watch this movie differently. Watch it through like it's a Mandela effect style kind of a movie. Okay.
I'll watch it.
Okay.
Right on my list.
Mandela effect kind of a story, right? Okay. Because all the things we've learned, Bob. Like this. Krypton. You could look at these people from another race is like the lost tribe of the United States of America, or not the United States of Earth. They're the lost tribe. Now, let's say that Krypton people are actually just a lost tribe of Earth.
Yeah.
They learn how to live on the atmosphere, and their body has evolved. So when they come back to Earth, the sun gives them strength because their body in human nature has evolved. Okay? Now, get this. Now, here we go. Well, and it start right off the bat. The S symbol is a symbol that means a lot to Bob because this symbol in the Mandela effect kind of a world changed for you.
It's a snake. Yeah, it's a snake. It's the S. So, it's the same thing as the Ophiuchus constellation with the snake handler. I have never heard of the Ophiuchus constellation ever.
Yeah.
And I worked at the Museum of Flight, and we did not have that astrology at the Museum of Flight in the constellations. No.
Right off the bat, you could look at the Superman movie as the true Mandela effect movie with Matrix mixed in it. I'm going to tell you guys how. Okay, right out the bat, Bob said this symbol. Look at the symbol. The symbol is the shape of a snake.
Snake.
And the movie
secret knowledge.
And remember, the movie says the S is not the letter S for Superman. It's really hope. And like Bob said, this snake, this symbol. So right out the bat, look at this movie as a lost tribe of Earth. The symbol is a snake. So right off the bat, you got some interesting symbols. You got some interesting things. Now, everybody always says Hollywood's like, Michelle, what if these people who made these are actually people who maybe experience a Mandela, that and put their clues in it? I'm going to tell some of these clues. Here we go. This is where we're going to get nerdy.
Break it down.
Now, in this movie, what was so brilliant about this movie? Let me see if there's a picture of him. He was a kid in this movie. Where is the kid? I had pictures of him being the kid. God damn. You know how I hate it when maybe I'm having a Mandela effect that it changed on me. Okay. But okay.
I call it the douchebag effect.
There's a scene in the movie. Now this is, of course, that's his dad playing. There's a scene in the movie, right? When he's like 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
I heard this story from you and a bunch of people in the Mandela effect community, where there's a part of the movie where he starts to see colors. He was seeing through people's bodies, not nakedness. He wasn't seeing naked body. He was seeing like the inner side, the lights, and everything. Now, Bob, you told 2016 that when you woke up to the world, you start to see lights. Now, this kid was already 9 years old. He wasn't like a baby learning the atmosphere. He was waking up. So think about a lost tribe. He was waking up like a Mandela effect. I don't know if you remember that scene. Remember, you guys got to watch this movie again. Watch it through the eyes like he's waking up to the Mandela effect because, like Bob, I heard this from you. I heard it from a bunch of people. He starts to see lights and colors. Seeing things. Now, did you not say that before?
Oh my God, the fluorescents were insane, man. I always, people say, well, can you give me, it was so bad for you. Remember, it was so bad for me, guys. I had to go to the hospital, the VA hospital, and these are prescription. Okay, these are prescription. I'm not being cool. These are not fucking being cool. I don't like wearing glasses. These are prescription sunglasses. Because I couldn't, the colors, I was getting snowblind, calling it snowblind. I'm like, I can't fucking handle the colors, man. There's too many fluorescents. Am I in Vegas? This is just a street corner in a normal town. It looked like Vegas to me. Bright.
This is
white sun.
Well, yeah, exactly. And that's what he was experiencing. Now, he was already adapted to the atmosphere, but he was just waking up now, kind of like what I've heard from everybody else. And then he runs into a little closet. Mom's talking to him. He says, Mom, the world's too big. Kind of like you're saying, when you were waking up, the world just got bigger.
What the fuck? Yeah.
He was explaining to him, make the world smaller, right? So I'm telling you, watch this movie through that point of view, people. You're going to take a whole different kind of perspective in this movie. The world's too big. He starts seeing color and lights. He was seeing things he never saw before, just like a lot of you people waking up for the first time. Now, some people woke up, never experienced that. I didn't experience no lights or anything like that, so I can't sit here and say did that. But Bob, you said it, and look, I'm no blind. So guys, watch Men of Steel through the eyes like this. Trust me, guys. You got to trust me on this. Now, there was a scene as a kid. Very interesting catch. I know, because in any other Superman movies, the Christopher Reeves, which I didn't enjoy, never did that. The old black and white TV series never did that. Not even the comics kind of did that. Zack Snyder, whose experienced his daughter dying and all this kind of stuff, I feel that he kind of put his little flavor in it. I can't claim that he's Mandela affected. I even hate saying that he's a Mandela affected. It makes it sound like he's got a Mandela virus. It's not a virus, but I feel like he put his feelings within the Superman story, right? Okay, now there's a scene where the bus crashed, right? Like the bus went into the water, right? And then he uses powers to pull the bus out. Now, one of the kids saw him do it, told the mom, right? And the mom went into their farmhouse, was talking to Clark Kent's dad. And then instead of like saying, who's this amazing kid? God, it was a gift from God. There's the God stuff. It wasn't all powerful and did great things. It was because God did it. It's like the same thing I've seen here. I've seen it here in the Mandela community. Dude, Bob, we had a co-host for a while that was on our show for a month.
Yeah.
But I got a little bored with him because everything that he was saying, the reason was God. Was God.
Well, he didn't know anything changed. He was asking me off camera, hey man, what do you think's changed in here? And I said, don't you know? I thought you read it for a year. No, well, let me tell you what's changed in here. And I was he writing this shit down. Next thing you know, the fucker's saying all the shit I told him. I was like, oh, Peter, fucking no.
It happened in the movie too, where greatness. But instead of bracing on this guy waking up, helping out people, they say God did this. And I see it on YouTube. I see it in the world. So the movie was examining everything perfectly like it was real life, right? Now, I know. I told you guys I'm getting a little nerdy here. Now,
what changed? You don't know? I thought you're supposed to know. I thought you were part of the community that knows. You don't know a damn thing, do you?
Okay, now here's this scene right here. Clark, this is Clark Kent's father. I forgot. God, Clark. What was Clark Kent's father's name in the Superman movie?
You're the fan.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot.
Superman's dad.
Yeah, Superman's dad. I'm sorry. Or his artificial dad, his fake dad.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Costner. Now there was a part of the movie where a big storm is hitting. Right, big storm is fucking hitting. Yeah. And there was a scene where the father went back to save the dog, and
Kevin Costner was in it. That's right, Kevin Costner. I love Kevin Costner.
And Kevin Costner was fucking awesome. Kevin Costner was
Dances with Wolves.
It was perfect. Now Kevin Costner, Superman had a chance to save him, okay? But the father said, no, the world's not ready for you yet. Because you're not ready yet. You're not ready to come out. If you come out now and save me, people see you, they're going to come after you. You're not ready to handle it yet. So he's
like the VA to me.
He sacrificed himself to die so the world is not ready for him, even though he knows his son can save him because he's Superman, right?
Yeah.
But he let himself die because he needs to find himself. So the next part of the movie is him finding himself. Bob, you went through that yourself when you were discovering things. You had to go find yourself. You went to fucking Europe to travel to find yourself.
Yeah.
See, this movie is like a Mandela effect journey to find himself.
British milk.
And now, am I getting too nerdy for you people in the chat?
British milk.
I'm getting too nerdy for you guys. I'm sorry, but watch this movie in a Mandela effect kind of a point of view. Okay, so he's trying to find himself, right? And that's why this movie is brilliant. It was showing what a real life person kind of goes through in life, what we go through. Even though you could be considered the most powerful guy in the universe, you're still going through issues, Bob. Okay, he finds his ship, right? He finds his ship out in I forgot, Alaska, Antarctica, I don't know. North Pole, whatever.
The northern continent.
No, he said nerd on. Okay, he finds his ship.
Okay?
He finds his ship. He goes in the ship. He sticks the symbol to talk to the ship. And guess what it does? It turns on what? A Matrix AI system. Out of nowhere. His father comes out, his real father comes out in an AI form, in a Matrix form, talking to him with feelings, with everything. And remember, this AI form of his father was opening doors for him. So now you got a lost tribe. They're the lost tribe. You got a guy who's waking up to the world, like a Mandela effect world.
Yeah.
Father sacrificed himself so this guy can learn himself first. He can learn before he comes out and tells people, I am truly Mandela effect. He needs to get the confidence first. Now he's talking to an AI. He's talking to his computer. He's talking to like his father, like it was real, explaining to him how the world works. And this AI computer was doing things to the ship, moving things, doing this. I mean, it was like a real Matrix system.
Yeah.
Okay. So now you just brought into the AI, right? And then the father explained to him, like, you got to believe, like who you are. Okay. You gotta trust yourself. Let people know who you are, right? Like
you gotta trust.
Now. So now he puts on the suit, right? The first time he's like learning, he puts on the suit. He's learning to fly. Okay, he's learning to fly in the movie right there and everything. So now he goes. I don't know. You can call him nerdy, whatever. And you got a woman who's investigating, trying to find him. Not like the old Superman movies. He doesn't like hide who he is. He tells the reporter who he really is because he knows. It's not like the fucking old 50s and 70s. You put on a pair of glasses and you look like a total different person. I mean, you can't hide yourself, right? But by turning on the AI Matrix, it turns to single, right? So it's like the internet now. Now he's open to the internet. He's open to the world. And then you got these enemies. Think about this. You are on YouTube now, right? Talking about the Mandela effect. Yeah. You gain enemies. Enemies that doesn't like your truth. Doesn't like the way you handle things. So you can say the enemies in this movie are the extreme truthers. Extreme truthers. Perfect.
Hate me, man.
That don't like your Mandela effect.
They don't like it because I fucking know way more than they. I see the changes all the. I fucking tell you the anatomy, and they're like, huh?
Right here, exactly. These enemies are not all truthers. The extreme truthers that are trying to understand the Mandela effect, because there was a scene in the movie where this guy, his mask got like damaged and he couldn't understand how to breathe. Then he didn't really understand the Mandela effect because he was just an extreme truther that it's a fake, that it's a fraud, that's just trying to pretend that he's with the community. We've all been through it. We've all been going through this. All of us. Okay. Now, there was a scene in the movie where he actually did go to a priest, not a normal crazy person that that the answer to everything was God. A priest like should I turn myself in? And then the priest tells him before you need to take a leap of faith first. The trust will come later, and that's exactly what most Mandela Effect true channels go through. You're doing the channel, you're doing the show, and people aren't going to believe you. People are going to say you're a phony, you're a fraud, you're a fake. But if you keep your guns, you keep to your truth, you're true to yourself, you're true to your show, the truth will come later.
Yeah. Nobody. I'm like trying to explain to people. I always I tell people, okay, the God thing, I get it, man. I'm with that too. But God teaches you how to ride the bike. That means you do it. God don't fucking do shit for you. He hasn't done anything since you were a kid. He ain't gonna do anything now. You're gonna do it. Teaches you, gives you the tools to do it. Gives you the tools.
This real preacher was using.
You do it.
This real preacher was actually using the Bible to help him to say, take a leap of faith. Not where people are not a priest or all says, oh, it's all God's doing. No, he's like,
no, you're doing it.
Faith. That's what I'm saying. How this movie, watch it through the way I'm telling you on how to watch this movie. Okay, so he has to defeat these extreme truthers. Like, get the fuck out of here. You're pretending you can see what I'm seeing. You're just here to take everybody, say, follow me, we're the leaders, because they weren't trying to compromise with Earth. They're just there to destroy everything. We see that on YouTube. You see that in real life. People are trying to destroy what you're trying to do. Okay? Now, the government. Now, what I like about this movie, at the end of this movie, Bob.
Yeah.
In the Christopher Reeves one, the ones I don't respect, if you remember if you remember Superman took the top of the White House, put it back, and now the president trust him. He's the best guy in the whole world. In this movie, first of all, he destroys almost all of New York. Dude, 9/11 doesn't have nothing on this movie, because in this one, all the buildings they fucked over, all the people that got killed. Now, if that was
America,
now the extreme YouTubers will say nobody died in those buildings. Oh, get out of here! People died in these buildings, right? But at the end of this movie, now like Christopher Reeve, where he puts the White House back, the government goes, "We still don't trust you. We're gonna have our eyes on you." And he was telling them, Superman, watching the end, he was saying, "You can't control me. You can't. You do this. I have to do things on my own way. Kind of like you're trying to do your channel."
Yeah.
Now, they shut you down. They can't always shut you up. But the government was basically saying, okay, but we're going to keep an eye on you. That's the same thing as YouTube's world, all these shows. You can't shut everybody down, but they're going to what? Bob, you said this yourself. You're going to keep an eye on you. Now,
oh, God, yeah, they are.
In the movie, the enemy had a bunch of people, right? Had a bunch of people. Now they're showing themselves. Now, Bob, you even said this yourself. You said this yourself.
Yeah.
If you get a bunch of people to start showing themselves all at once, and you spread idiocracy, instead of attacking slowly, taking over everybody slowly, you come out and attack all at once. You're like, Bob, you even said this. Yeah. Don't ever do that all at once, because now they all know who you are. It's easier to stop you. It's easier to fight against you. Right?
That's what they want.
So he wins. The same wins an army, because he sent everybody back by creating a black hole. He created like another reality dimension to send everybody back. And of course, he has to kill the main guy's dog at the end. He had to rip his neck, but he sent everybody else through. He created a reality hole and sent them all the way. Nobody knows exactly where. So this movie has Mandela effects. This movie has what real life is going through. I mean, watch this movie through the eyes of this. And then in the end, government saying, we're still going to have our eyes on you. We don't trust you. And that's what real life is about. And when people said, when I hear people say the original is better, dude, this is more real life, what everybody goes through, than the first ones. The first piece of crap one. So I don't understand how people not like this. Watch this movie again. Watch it through the way I told you to watch it. Watch a guy struggling with the Mandela, trying to discover himself. and how governments are now watching him. Everybody's watching him. People, newspapers, and they're trying to make you look stupid and crazy, even though you're just doing the good for all people. You're just trying to help out with the information flow.
Well, yeah, I always tell people if you've got, I call it the douchebag effect, because everybody with the Mandela effect that I've met are douchebags. I myself am a douchebag, so the douchebag effect, I would say, man, if you got something like that, it's not for you to be running around saying you're better. It's for you to fix a problem you have in your own life. And I keep saying that. I was on over a decade of pills. Fucking VA I was a prescribed junkie from the fucking Veterans Administration hospital, and so I got off everything. Got myself out there, liver healed, my spine healed, everything fucking, I have a cavity that reversed itself. I'm fucking healing, and I'm getting stronger and bigger, and fucking can't stop getting fucking muscles, and I'm better at everything. I'm better and getting, I don't know if, like you talk about Superman. I say is the white radiation from that sun. People complaining about what? It's getting you stronger, better. But people who aren't getting better or stronger and their teeth are rotting and they look fucking decrepit and they're fucking, you just look at their face and just like, hey, we ain't getting shit benefits from this. I don't know what you're talking about. What gift did you get?
Let me answer this question. Wasn't it changed? Yes, I did change it. But for this story here, I know people will not understand if I had my name. So I kept the word Mandela just so people understand, just so people could understand what topics we're talking about. That's the only reason.
I told them to put it on there. I said,
I don't like using the word Mandela.
Use the heading. I said use the heading because that's what people aren't like. They're the fucking the ripple, the this, the that. I'm like, I'll just fucking put the old one back on for the guy for this show.
Just for this show.
I said,
get it. And
don't put douchebag effect because then people won't come. I said, just put the old fucking title on there.
Yeah.
Eric was twisting his arm. He's like,
well, cool. I mean, I always hated that phrase. Everybody's affected.
I don't like it.
It sound like we're affected with the virus or something, and it makes it slapstick on the research that you do behind the scenes.
I think
nobody is affected. It's a belief system. It's a belief. Do I use StreamYard? Yes, I do use StreamYard.
It's mostly misremembering, but some of the things I like to call it, you just scratch your head and say, I don't know about this. There's something wrong with this. The obvious ones you have a memory of straight up, like, come on, man, I remember this 100%. You can't argue me with this one out of it. I don't know why. Maybe some fucking guy in a dark room put a syringe in my head and changed my memory. Plausible. I don't know, but whatever it is, it's different. So
just for this show, buddy, this only time I'm going to be using the Mandela because I didn't want to confuse anybody on this.
Because of me, I said, put that old one up there. I don't got a problem. I use it.
The Mandela effect, explaining the science behind the false memories. Now, remember, guys, I'm not saying this is a false memory. Now, I took the words from this part here to make it the poll. I made a poll out of it. I used those words. It wasn't words that I made up. I made a poll, and here it is. And let me just hit enter, and let's just see what it says. Okay? Now, it says here, the Mandela effect, explaining the science behind the false matrix. Now, the article said memories, but I didn't want to offend anybody. Memories. Okay, so the 4 choices that was in that article says proof of time travel, interference from an alternate reality, a glitch in the matrix, just a bad memory. Okay. Now, 3% out of 35 votes, 3% says proof of time travel, interference. Most people said interference from an alternate reality, which I think if there's a good reason for something, that's a damn good one. A glitch in the matrix. That's true. I mean, if we're living in a matrix and if it is all data can get corrupted. So that's not a bad second choice. Or third choice, just a bad memory. And now, well, first of all, not every Mandela is real. There are some that are just bad memories. So that's not false. Now here, let me see what some people say here. I think it's spelled. Yes, I know that doesn't sound like a scientific reason, but given the CERN has so many ties with witches, occult, and ditties. It has to be another possibility to consider. True.
They do.
Yeah.
They go with the constellations. That's why I've been bringing up. Everyone's like, "What? Why are you bringing up all these constellations?" Because the people behind the curtain are, and they are relevant. Even if you're a Christian, it's in your little book. It's in there. It's in all the books. It's relevant at the moment. It's good to know.
Now, Robert Alley wrote, "Time seems to go faster the last 10 years.
Yeah.
There's something going on. Don't know what it is. Maybe it's just me." Yeah, like you said, he's saying that something's going on. He doesn't know, or it could be just him, which he's being completely honest. And that's awesome.
I think it's going fast as fuck.
Red Flat Rico wrote, "I think it's CERN and D-Wave. I've been looking into it for years. There's many dots to connect, but be lying if I said I knew. I am very interested to see how the poll plays out." I know. That's what I'm saying. We don't have answers. If we have the answers, there's no reason to do a show because everybody knows the answers. We don't know the answers. Yeah. I think the Mandela effect is a result of interference from alternate realities, but I think there's other things that feel off about our reality are due to glitches or changes being initially made for whatever reasons.
That's a good one. Yeah. Oh, they're all good. But that's a good one.
Austin says he picked number 2, which is interference from an alternate reality. That would make sense because, listen, if a change happened, we know it happened. Say there's no doubt about it. Even Tony in the chat agrees on this one item. That something.
No, he's not. He's my control. He will not agree with anyone here.
For this experiment.
That's control.
Here, what's this? Kraft Dinner is the Canadian version of Kraft macaroni and cheese. Okay, let's just say Kraft Dinner. Change. Kraft. Maybe the F was not there and the F is now there. And we all know it's there. Then there's got to be a reason. Is it a bad memory that every single buddy has? Or what else is it? Maybe in a different reality, something did change there and somehow it leaked over. I'm just saying. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Now let's pull this off. Let's go back to the article. Let's just see if it says anything. Okay, let's go back to it. Here we go. Science behind the false memories, proof of travel, interference, alternate reality, glitch in the matrix, or just bad memory. 2 contrived psychologists unravel the mysteries of the Mandela effect. Which to me, I've said this before that I would put $1 million saying that 90% of all people in America never experienced anything with Nelson Mandela. Maybe a few have seen change. I know that this is the biggest false memory, my opinion, that there is. Now, I believe maybe only a small percentage might see it because, come on, people. In the fucking 80s, 90s, nobody followed people from Africa. He wasn't even prime minister yet. Nobody, maybe a small percentage, but 90% of you who say you remember this, you don't. I'm telling you, it's false. That's why I also don't like the name. I think the name was made for money. It was made to make books. It sounds great. But don't tell me everybody remembers this when only a small percentage does. I'll give you that here. Have you ever been convinced that something is a particular way only to discover you remembered it all wrong? If so, sounds like you experienced the phenomenon known as the Mandela effect. This form of collective misremembering of common events or details first emerged in 2010, when countless people on this eternally falsely remember that Nelson Mandela was dead. It was widely believed that had died in prison during the 1980s. In reality, Mandela was actually freed in 1990 and passed away in 2013. Now, first of all, you and I did a video on what he did through his life. We're not going to go back through that, but
I got a headache from it already. I'm done with it.
Yeah, paranormal consultant Fiona Broom coined the term Mandela effect. See, right there, coin. You know why they use the word coin? She used it for money because it sounded great. Now, Explain the collective misremembering, and often examples started popping up all over the internet. For instance, it was wrongly recalled that C-3PO from Star Wars was gold. Actually, one of his legs as silver. Now, I remember the silver. Bob remembers all gold.
Gold.
See, I mean, and there's no right or wrong of my or Bob. Okay.
I remember the Time Life magazine. He was actually at a full frontal on the Time Life magazine. I remember at Mary's house. I remember looking at it. A little kid going, ah.
But
and he had his full
frontal. All changes to me that George Lucas has done to his movies, even back in those days of Empire. We even did a video on how he changed the whole ending look of Empire Strikes Back while the movie was still at the movie theaters the first week. So that's why, you know, it's not even worth even start arguments with C-3PO because George Lucas has known to change things to make things look cleaner.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
So it's almost an impossible one to try to say proof or not proof. It really is.
That's why I stick with the changes in science. I don't play little kids games. I go straight to the science, man. I go straight to like names of physiology changes. I mean, like actual things that you could back up with evidence and have people like the heart move. Everyone knows about the fucking, you know, just lots of,
This article can have a true argument. Likewise, people often wrongly believe that the Queen in Snow White says "mirror, mirror on the wall." The correct phrase is "magic mirror on the wall." Now, that's also a very interesting one because we had a person on this channel that jumped on our show that showed us a book that was made by Disney. I can't remember what year that book was made, and inside that book did have the words "mirror, mirror," not "magic mirror." But
that's a code.
You know, they say "magic mirror." So now, did the book come out afterwards? Did the guy misprint, and that's where we got "mirror, mirror" from? I don't know, but "mirror, mirror" is always an interesting one because "mirror, mirror" sounds better than "magic mirror" because every movie after that Disney movie all used "mirror, mirror" except the Disney movie.
It's a code. I mean, if you're into the whole thing about the mirror universe thing,
that's why I want to read this article about. If you could try to decode "mirror, mirror" versus "magic mirror," how do you think we could decode this?
Well, I don't like to give anybody answers. Obviously, I base it off what I know from myself, from what I experienced, especially from working in a museum and then going in and meeting my old friends. And for example, one of my buddies had a beard like mine, and he grew it because he had a little ass chin. And then the day I woke up, 2016, I went to work, and the dude has a bigger chin and a shorter beard. And I said, "What happened to your beard? What happened to your face?" Everything. I call it the goatee world, the upside down. This is all the upside down people. To me, it's like bizarro world because everybody's like the extreme of themselves, but like the worst part of themselves. That's how I see it. Only me, because I had friends that they were not the way they were. One was real funny. We always crack jokes, and he was just all of a sudden anxiety ridden. I'm like, "What happened to you?" Other buddy had a face, had kind of a dark mark on his face, kind of like have you on your ankle, a birthmark, and then the birthmark was gone. I said, "What happened to your birthmark?" People that I know that were decently cool all of a sudden had yellow fucking rotty teeth, and they were angry all the time. I'm like, what is wrong with everyone in this place? Upside down place. I call it like Star Trek with the goatees, man. Everybody was mean. Then the green light was on the fucking bottom. Used to be on the top. Like, so that's how I saw it right off the bat. Everybody was an asshole. I was like, what happened to my boss? What happened to everybody was just like the worst part of them as what I was experiencing. And then, of course, all the planes were changing constantly. The constellations, the fucking everything was upside down. Like, this is mirror, mirror. It's upside down, man. We're on the mirror fucking side. We're on the other side. Flip fucking sides.
What year?
To me.
What year did Disney Snow White came out? And I'm bringing this up on purpose. Okay, now, the reason I never even really talk too much about the Snow White is because now the movie came out.
Dwarfs.
The movie came out. Here I pulled it up. It came out February 4th, 1938. That's when the movie came out. Okay, so kind of like when I said about JFK, where I can't get on board with the JFK because the first time I even seen any footage is when I was in school in the later 80s and 90s, and that had 20 years to go through changes through the studios, through whatever. Now, 1938, the first time I seen Snow White, of course, they said magic mirror, but people say mirror. They remember mirror, mirror, but I can't tell you from 1938 to the first time I seen it if it didn't go through some kind of a change back in those days.
Could have.
It could have. So that's why I can never really say it's a Snow White is a true Mandela for me because it there's too many years that it already went by. It's not like when we talk about Meatballs, when we saw Meatballs at the beginning, and we don't remember him wearing that sweater, the 13 sweater.
Shirt.
The difference is we saw that movie when the first year that it came out.
Yeah, and you had a 13 jersey.
The Star Wars movies when it first came out.
Well, yeah, I look at it holistically.
Came out in 1938. There's no way.
I look at it holistically because once one thing has got changed, it will continue to have weird things. It's giving you all kinds of information. Again, I do it from an anthropological point of view, which means everything's bullshit to begin with. So when I look at it, I'm like, okay, what else is going on with this one? What? So I look into like the seven dwarfs, right? So you got the seven dwarfs. Okay, then you've got, I know it goes off subject, but it's the same thing. It takes me over to Turing. He did the Enigma, Eric. Now he's the one who made the supercomputer, who also later in this fucking reality worked on fucking AI stuff, which he never did. He committed suicide by eating an apple, reenacting the death scene from Seven White and the Seven Dwarfs. So he did the death scene from from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs by eating the apple with cyanide in it and committed suicide. And I go, when the fuck did that happen? And what does it have to do with? And it's in the literature, reenacting Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. There it is again. It keeps popping up. Fucking Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs keeps popping up, and then seven keeps popping up for me. All these sevens keep popping up because now in the Bible, of course, Noah has not two animals, two and two and two and two. He's got seven animals getting on the fucking seven animals getting on the fucking on seven animals, seven clean and then two unclean. I go, when the fuck did he have seven and on the damn what? Okay, so the seven keeps popping up around, but going back to the Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. That whole damn movie keeps having weird things. It's overlapping and bleeding into other weird things for me. Weird, not right things for me. I'm like, I don't remember this in history. And it goes back to, and it says if you look up the description of Turing committing suicide, it says in there, reenacting Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs death scene. I go, there it is again. Like he's popping up. So certain things just keep bleeding into other things. That's why I look at these when one movie has all these changes. Look for the other shit. We're talking about codes. Look for the codes. Look for the numbers. Look for what it's bleeding into. Other things constantly keeps going into other things. It affects everything. Like the butterfly effect. It affects everything. One movie will affect all these different outcomes for all these different things that happen. So what? No, man. I'm just throwing my 3 cents about Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs for an example. For the codes. No,
you have to. Now,
yeah.
Now, there's sometimes there's some reason when we show here like there's some channels like I do kind of like, and I'm going to show you like some reasons why. Like when you do Mandela effect stuff like on the Thing, which we grew up during, we saw the Thing when it first came out. X-Files. We saw this when it came out. When stuff that I know we saw within the first year, like Dexter, I've seen Dexter from the beginning. Van Halen, I was there during these albums. That's why I take more stock into things that I was there from the beginning because too many years go by, you can make whatever kind of crap things to go along with it. And I'm not saying they're real or not, but
look at Dexter.
Huh?
Look at Dexter. Bring Dexter back up. Show Dexter.
Okay, let me see here.
People are saying there's changes in Dexter. Yeah, but are you really doing all the fucking thinking for it? Look at Dexter. Look at the X in Dexter.
Right there, the X.
The X has fucking got a unique thing to it. If you go to a SpaceX, it had a big ass change in it. That X looks the same. A lot of X's look the same in a lot of different titles. The X looks the same. Letters bleed into each other. The A in the well, a lot of the A's have fucking switched around and changed. Yeah, it's you got to stop and look at what how it's changed, and then look what it means, and then overlap it to other things. See, letters all touching each other, all blurring each other. On the X's, on all the X's you see on most of the things, you're gonna have one thin line on the X and one fat line. If you look at SpaceX, it has one thin line and one fat line. What does that mean, people? What is the numerical value for X?
And then here in this picture, Dexter is not connected.
To debunk. Yep, there you go.
And like I said, this stuff is during our timeline while we're alive, and we can't there hasn't been 20, 30 years to dissect. We're dissecting it because we were there during the first years. That's when your memory's fresh. Okay. Yeah. So that's why I like to, that's why I don't talk too much about, mirror kind of stuff, because it's too old of something to even try to go back on here. Where's the science? Now, here we go. Now let's see what it says here. Where's the science? Or actually, hold on. There's the worst. Hold on.
If you're at my level, I'm looking at codes. So to me, it means a lot.
Now, here we go. Broom explains the Mandela effect via pseudo-scientific theories. Now, I hate when they try to use these fancy words to make her sound like she has all the answers, because she tries to find words for theories that make her sound like she is better to talk about this than anybody else. She claims that difference arise from movement between parallel realities, which that part where a lot of people are believing that too, that it's more for different realities. She claimed, this is based on the theory that's within each universe, alternative versions of events and objects exist. Broom has drawn comparisons between existence and the holodeck of the USS Enterprise from Star Trek. The holodeck was virtual reality system which created recreational experiences. By her explanation, memory errors are software glitches. This explains as being similar to the film The Matrix. Now, of course, I like when she wrote, where by her explanation. So none of this was real until she explained it. So, of course, she coins it to say that it was all her that's saying this. And we saw this all in movies and TV shows in the past that was going through this. But she explains it. She is the queen of Mandelas. She is the mistress of it all, which is all fucking bullshit. Other theories purpose that the Mandela effect evidence changes in history caused by time travelers. Now, time travel is the hardest one to even try to say, because technically nobody knows the rules of what time travel even is in the first place.
Yeah, I do.
There's some time travel theories that says if somebody goes back in time or the future, you can't change on what's going to happen or not. And then there's other time travels like Back to the Future where you change something, the whole future is changed within that, within this touch by whatever he's changing. So there's too many theories of time travel, and nobody knows the truth. I mean, even the movie The Avengers, when the movie Avengers came out on the rules of time travel, they even broke their own rule on Captain America, because in their rules, the past doesn't change the future, but even in the Avengers, they broke their own rules when Captain America stayed behind to stay with the love of his life. So even movies break their own rules of time travel. So time travel is a hard one. Is it a possibility? Well, yeah.
Yeah, I wrote the equation, so it's yeah, you can do it.
Yeah. So it is a possibility, but it's like I said, we gotta know what is the real rules of time travel, even in the first place.
Hold this up, Eric. Hold this up, because I wrote this in 2009. Book.
Oh, sorry. I hit the wrong button.
I wrote this on 2009 in Facebook. I put it on a pillow so you guys can see it there. I did it with a color code so you guys can read it. So you use uranium. Well, if you got whatever isotope you can get a hold of. So start by forming it into a usable isotope, and if the real part of the Eigen value is negative, the trajectories will spiral into the origin, and in this case, the lowercase e, which is an electron kind of a thing. Yeah, so if you've got some usable uranium hanging around, or you got some, again, I tell people, if you really want to, another guy say it's true, so you guys enjoy it, I'm just entertaining you. But if you really wanted to, if you're in a pinch and you wanted to actually build a time machine using some radioactive material, you guys can go back to the back of my time. I don't know about this place, but at my time, you can go back and use the gauges from the airplanes back in the early days. They were all radioactive. So.
I love this comment. I'm going to show it for fun because I love this comment. What drugs are you guys on? And take off those stupid glasses. It explains why you guys can't see. Two grown men going through midlife crisis. Embarrassing. I'll pray for you, moron.
Absolutely, I'm embarrassing myself. Absolutely.
I love that. Hey, listen, if you think we're morons, that's fine. That's up to you. You can think
you're probably right. You probably are right. You're completely correct. You are 100% right. You should feel good about yourself. Next time you sit around, feel good because you're a fucking smart person.
Yeah, it's probably from the BS cult crowd. I don't care.
I don't care. I love them. They're beautiful.
I love it. Hey, call us morons. It's cool. It's fine. You can't hurt my feelings by calling me moron.
Most likely right, because I don't remember shit. Everything I remember is wrong. So I'm not even from here. That makes me insane.
Now we're going to go to where's the science. Now this says where's the science. Okay. Now let's see what it says here. Psychologists explain the Mandela effect via memory and social effects, particularly false memory. This involves mistakenly recalling events or experience that not occurred, or distortion of existing memories. The unconscious manufactured and fabricated or misprinted memories is called confabulation. In everyday life, confabulation is relatively common. Now, first of all,
are we going to do Mandela effect, or are we going to read about how they're fake?
What's that?
Are we going to actually do any real Mandela effects, or are we just going to read about how it's fake?
Well, then I'm going to have you. Then I'm going to have you.
This is like, I remember this from a long time ago. Everyone, this is like, I want to get some good ones, or we could find some.
Well, here. When incorrect recall, when it comes to Mandela effect, many examples are attributed to so-called scheme-driven errors, organized packets of. Okay, it's all interesting out here. Let me put this article so people can read it because, like I said, to understand forward.
But that's like NPC stuff. That's like the non-person player idiot shit. Like, oh, they ain't real. Well, fuck off. Go play NPC games. You're a sim. You're a fake sim person. You're not real. Go about your day like it's normal. It's every day for you normal. When you look up,
the last part it says it's not to say the Mandela effect is not applicable in terms of multiverse. Indeed, the notions of parallel universe is consist within the work of quantum physics. There's that quantum word. We know quantum businessman loves us, but until the existence of alternate realities is established, psychological theories appear much more plausible. Now, let's say this. Now, if alternate realities did happen, say it did happen, we wouldn't really know in a lot of ways. Only way we would probably really kind of know is the memory of things that are happening, right? Because
I know
if something has changed, something changed here. And then now we don't no longer know what has changed because it has changed. But
That's correct.
But the glitch in the matrix is where it comes in, where the glitches are still going to be there because something changed has to leave some kind of residue, that some kind of glitch that has happened.
Well, yeah, if something happened, if something changed in the past and you're living in the future, it's going to change your whole history. And if you're within that mindset of that, whatever avatar you're in at that place, it's going to be the history you remember. It's just always been. Now, for some reason, some of us are fucking like viruses within the system. Like I am. I'm you write a book. I ain't writing a book on shit. But I'm constantly running into fucking changes. I'm like, it's daily. It's the point where I'm like just laughing at it. So when I hear the other people talk about, what are you talking about? The entire context of that change, everything about it did.
What do you know about Black Tom?
Black Tom is a fucking idiot's version of something happened to. Yeah, I get it. Fucking yeah, the fucking explosion happened. Who gives a shit? Who cares? There's a lot of shit out there that's changed. There are the fucking constellations are constantly. There are body parts. There are tons of things you can go into to repeat the same. Well, what about the fucking the whatever guy with the monocle? Let's go back to that old fucking sock. Let's go back to the fucking who's in the JFK car. Who cares? What is this? 2020 going? There are so many present day changes. It's constant that people could keep coming up, but they go back to the old ones for children. No, man. I'm way past that point. That's like a child's fucking question. I'm not putting it down, but it's a child's question. Do you know the military history? Here's the question I have for people with Black fucking Tom. Tell me about the United States fucking uniform. Tell me about the Germans' uniforms. What's changed on the Germans' uniforms? What's changed on the military uniforms? What direction was the Medal of Honor? What direction is the American flag? What parts of the fucking uniform? If you want to go into military conversation, we'll go there. Fuck the little child's version of something that happened. That's a fucking local that woke up and said there's something different.
Well, Bob, I think that's why. I think you're absolutely right. That's why I rather watch channels that has modern day, like Dead Zone, that we can remember. Like You Got Mail, we were there during this time when there's changed.
So many things that are relevant to the codes. It's giving you the Matrix or whatever you want to call it, or God, or we don't call it the lampshade. Giving you all these communications and codes and numerical values for things, and you got to move forward with that. You got to wake up to these things. You got to write these things down. You got to see the message being told to you. And people are like, "Oh, we go back to the fucking. Did Curious George have a tail? Who gives a shit?"
Like Dukes of Hazzard here. You and I grew up with Dukes of Hazzard, so let me hear what he says on this one.
Yeah.
Good Old Boys theme song, Mandela Effect. Okay.
I love that movie.
So I made a video back on January 1st, 2019 called The Dukes of Hazzard Mandela Effect. And in that video, I show how I remember the word hazard was spelled Hazard. Well, now it has two Z's in the word, and that is not how I remember it.
And you know what? He said what I like about this channel, because he said exactly the same thing you said when you wrote something at one time and you went back and you looked what you wrote, it has changed.
Yeah, what I wrote changed. Yeah. I go back to my I tell people, go back to your social media. If you wrote a logbook or a diary, whatever, go back and look at your old writings. You're gonna see your present avatar is what is here. Now, some of the things, if you go back to my fucking old Facebook, you're gonna see me write Captain Crunch. All of that stayed the same, but you're gonna see a lot of things that are local. You know, you just jumped into an avatar that's always been here, and now you're awake in it. But your past, you were just like the NPCs here. You were just like them. You had the same memory as them. But like, no, that's different. That's crazy. See, I love the new things that people come up with.
Yeah, no.
Z.
I love it when people kind of, because I heard this from you, write things down, look at it later. And since he did a video back in a time, he noticed that what he wrote has changed.
Yeah.
So here, let's go here.
I will provide a link to that video in the description if you have not seen that. Well, today I was listening to the Duke of Hazzard theme song by Waylon Jennings, and I noticed that the song Good Old Boys is changing. I heard it on me, and by that I mean when he sings Just a Good Old Boys, it changed to Just a Good Old Boy, and then it changed to Just a Good Old Boys. That's not the only thing that changed in this song. I remember before the change in the song, he used to say, just a good old boys, never mean no harm, beats all you ever saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they were born. Well, after the change, it's just a good old boy.
Oh, that's fucking interesting. Because when you pick a theme song for a show, the theme song's got to match the show. So
just the good old boys. Never mean no. Come on, that's good.
See, that's good because I remember boys because it represents the show because it's about two boys.
They was born. Just the day they was born. What the fuck? That day they were born. Day they were born. The day they was born. Was born? No, man.
but I mean, I don't have to play it like the whole thing. But my point is that why does the same old stuff comes up with everything that's before our lifetime, before too many years that could already change it. Like here one, Chuck E. Cheese was in our lifetime.
Yeah,
related to us, because if you're going to try to decode something, because Bob, you are you believe there's if it's a real true Mandela, and
if it's a head scratcher, if it makes you like, and you go through the things of debunking, yeah,
and then you found yourself a true one, like right here, the Richie Rich dollar sign. And for a fact that the dollar sign has changed. I even remember you asking me, do I remember one or two?
Yeah.
And then now say like you see this and it's two.
Yeah.
Now, then you try to use the best you can. You try to mathematically try to see what's the message behind this.
A lot of it's to do with the symbolism and the snake. A lot of to do with the snake, and of course with Ophiuchus, the snake handler, and up in the heavens now, which is highly relevant to things. Not only that, the Melusina with the again, I go through the whole thing now. Starbucks coffee, now Starbucks, and it used to be just Starbucks on the head and the heading Starbucks, but Starbucks has the legs go up, and that's from Melusina, and that's the whole mythological story that I have never heard of. That's brand new. Everything that you see is now a mythological symbol change, and of course with the double lines, that's mythology. That is also a mythology. That is the snake. The old maybe it's changed back. I don't know. The old the medical sign with the two snakes, a lot of to do with the S's and the snakes. And snake means wisdom, and it also means secret information. It's telling you the answer. I mean, the snake just means, I told about the mythology of Apollo's son who learned the art of resurrection. This is in mythology. Look it up yourself. The Apollo's son, look up. I've never heard of the story. Again with Dionysus now, that's a new word change. And Dionysus was Zeus had only ever had Zeus had children with a female that had a child. Zeus only bore ever any child from his own body, which was Athena from his fucking head. Athena. Now Zeus bears a child in his leg. He puts an embryo in his leg, and now Dionysus is born of Zeus himself. So again, mythology has changed. There's the fucking Mandela effects that I look for. The mythology changes, man. All those are relevant, and they have to do with the astrology.
Well, look,
And the people behind the curtain are all the ones looking at that.
the S, how arrows, different symbols.
Yeah. Even the pound. The symbol for the pound has changed. Has anybody talked about the symbol for the pound changing? I'm sure, I know Mandela Affected probably did it, but the symbol that had also lost a line for the pound. A lot of the coinage, even the dollar bills, have significantly keeps changing with little bees all over it.
And so basically, that's why this is kind of a good Mandela effect here, because this one actually is telling you the message, because they're showing two lines to show you what's the reason of the one line. See, this is good. See, this is during our timeline of life.
Yeah. Exactly. People are like, the dollars keep changing. You know, like I said, the dollars keep changing all the time, and nobody talks about the dollars change and all the different currencies that keep changing. What the fuck does Black Tom have to do with anything with the actual? Has anybody? I made a video, Eric, about Armstrong, the first man on the step on the moon, whatever. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. He says now, and nobody's even saying anything about it, a giant leap, one small step for man, and one giant leap for one small step for a man. I got it backwards. A small step for a man, not man. One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. He says one small step for a man now. You can't hear it in the video, but when you go back to his literature and you hear him talk about it, and all the people that know, Armstrong says that, no, I said a man. He, on his deathbed, says, I said a man. Everyone heard it wrong on the audio, but it's a huge Mandela effect. No one's talking about it. Like, nobody here. You kids are shit about the Monaco guy.
Let me ask you this one, because
Amen.
This is another movie that came out during our lifetime, not past stuff where a lot of people say there's a lot of changes in the movie, where this one, here we go to this video. This one is basically where Forrest Gump used to be spelled Forest, but now it is spelled with two R's. I even went to IMDb because I can't remember how it's spelled. So according to IMDb, it is spelled with two R's. So Bob, so I'm asking you, so now if we all agree that Forrest Gump could be considered a true Mandela effect from one R to two R's, is there a message you think, like scientifically, they're trying to tell us or something?
I don't want to say, because my opinions are different. I know, I'm just kind of paused for a second because somebody put in there, I thought it was hilarious. I didn't think about that, by the way. I didn't think about that. I keep my mind.
Somebody wrote something what in the chat?
Amen. Right? That sounds, yeah.
Who wrote
Amen.
that? Who wrote this?
ACO 781. Amen.
Oh, right.
Amen.
Right,
yeah, amen. See, okay, that's what I'm talking about. Why the A? And the A is also a lambda, and also means matrix. That it means the female womb. It's a female within Freemasonry. It's a womb. Also, it's the water sign. Why is the water sign shown? Are we going to have some fucking big ass flood? Is there floods already happening? Yeah, all over the place. Yeah, that's not a conspiracy theory. There's a lot of floods happening everywhere. The water sign, the A keeps showing up. The A. Amen, A, or Amen. Yeah, see, these things are significant.
Don Hall said you did a video on it.
Thank you, Don. Yes, I've done it, and nobody sees my nobody watches my videos to see all the.
Carla wrote, "Real is a matter of perception."
Correct. Yeah, it's radiation. It depends on what goes in your eye holes.
Here, our friend Texas Danny, Forrest Gump. This is a possible reference to a limit of numbers of actual real souls.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Danny. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's what it's the codes behind it. It's what again, and everybody write it down. What you think it could be. Write it down, and just keep a little.
Look at this, Neo, alien.
Okay. Yeah. Now it just come out. I did a thing today. In 1994, 13. We are all considered aliens. This is the new buzz. I'm only the messenger because we are technically not part of Milky Way galaxy. We're part of Sagittarius dwarf galaxy. So we're technically visiting the aliens, visiting the Milky Way. So again, these things go back, and then there's even like references that kind of bounce into the Bible back and forth. Everything written. Everything, right down to Tom Cruise wearing a pink shirt. I talk about masculine and feminine switched. Tom Cruise was in a white shirt with some sunglasses sliding across the floor. Now he has no sunglasses. Sunglasses are significant because people are wearing them because that fucking sun up there. And he's wearing a pink shirt. He's feminine. What's masculine is now feminine. What's feminine is now masculine.
You know what's weird? I didn't mention this when I was looking for Hazel's YouTube page. It wasn't on my left. It was gone. I had to type his name in and resubscribe. It took away. It
unsubscribed you.
Yeah, it did.
It unsubscribed you.
So I wonder if he unsubscribed, did he get a notification? I wonder, it's like, does Eric hate me now because he unsubscribed? That's weird. Again, but see, yeah. I'm going to show you this other one here. That's why I pick and choose on the people that I want to listen to, because there's some good stuff that was in our lifetime. Like right here, look at this one, the Flintstone theme song. The Flintstone theme song, Mandela effect. So apparently the theme song has changed.
Wow.
But the thing is, the reason it's easier to follow because you and I can have this. We grew up on Flintstone. When Jake Dyer was on our show, you were actually explaining to him. He never even remember. He didn't even know you were telling the truth or not. Jay goes,
"No, the Flintstones is a huge."
For the people,
Mandela
the people in the chat, when you were explaining to Jake Dyer about the Flintstones, what were you trying to explain to him about the Flintstones so people know what I'm talking about?
Well, the Flintstones themselves have a lot of truth drops. Now, always start with. Again, I'm going to use Tom Cruise as a reference, and we'll go back to Flintstones. If Tom Cruise or Tom Hanks has a video change, don't hate the fucking person. Whatever this is sending messages through his videos. Tom Cruise, there's messages. I watched the show today, one of his movies, and it was loaded with 13s, loaded all the way from I couldn't count. I stopped counting the 13s. So, the Flintstones had started off with a flip-flop Mandela effect. And so now the damn thing's going to have constant changes through it. He talks about the Grand Poobah. Like, remember they have the Grand Poobah, the symbol on the hat, the Freemason. He was a Freemason with the Pez hat. There's symbols on that. That's changed. It's significant for now. I can't go back through all that stuff, but a lot of the small appliances, a lot of the technologies they had in the Flintstones changed, or not changed, but it's significant for now, like truth drops. It's the one of the first Simpsons of its time. There was no ever any cartoon primetime show, no cartoon primetime shows on regular television. Flintstones was like the first. So if I were some sort of AI or God or a lampshade or a turtle, I would use that series to talk about a lot of things. So yabba dabba do.
Oh, and what you're saying is you discovered us watching it, and that's why I wanted to show you this. Like this person wrote on her video, "Yabba Dabba Doo." That song made me want to watch the Flintstone. So really, if you think about a science behind a Flintstone, even with the song change, she put it in there. I'm glad that Mandela put this in there. The song made me not want to watch the Flintstone. So
yeah.
So, but by saying not, you do watch it again because you want to hear it, and then by watching it, you could catch exactly
other messages coming out of it. You catch other messages. It's the same thing with Wizard of Oz. It's constantly has changes in it, and it's reflecting whatever this is. You guys call it whatever you want. You have a name for God in your own fucking mouth. Whatever it is. Whatever this communicator is out there, it's using these videos to communicate, and you got to go back. If it has changes in it, just a few of the things, go back and watch the series. You're going to see all kinds of stuff. I go back. I watch again. I'm watching Mission Impossibles from Tom Cruise, and they're loaded, Eric. I'm not going to sit here. I can make fucking multiple videos about this. I'm not doing it. Tom Hanks videos loaded with truth drops, loaded with the stuff. A lot of these things that have changes are loaded with them. Specific songs have messages in them. Tons of stuff. You got to get the message, and the message is for you, and only for an individual of just you. Not. There's no community that's going to get the same message. Each individual gets your own limit of what you can get, what you can get out of it. It's only for you as an individual. Existentialisms. Everyone become an existentialist. Get away from the fucking groups and don't pay no money to nobody. Go out on your own with your own book. Write your own shit.
And this might be a far stretch. You think that some people? I don't want to point fingers at any channels. I'm not trying to do that. But when channels keep talking about older Mandelas that we weren't even raised during that time. They do it on purpose, so you can't. So there's nothing to debunk. There's no way. It's harder to debunk, and it's harder because I would think that modern day Mandelas is much easier to try to do your science to match things up. Yeah. Your memory is fresher than pulling up something like a JFK.
Well, everybody, you're tuned into it. Now, the philosophy that everybody has no, not everybody. Everybody is an individual. Everybody has their own little knob, and you're all tuned into your own radio station. You can only get what you can get. I know people who don't. Everything's normal for them. There's nothing changes. However, they just see numbers. They go insane with fucking numbers. Everything's the same. Whatever changes out there, according to what in my memory is a change, but to them it's not. But they'll see numbers. So whatever this is giving just you as an individual. Some people, if you were a native and you don't have a television set, what the fuck are you doing? They're looking at the animals. They're seeing animals do weird things. They're seeing the animal. That's their effect. They're the animal effect. They're seeing the animals. Some people are seeing the clouds. The clouds are giving them whatever. Maybe they're crazy. Maybe they're not. It's the cloud. Whatever your thing is, it's only for each individual. So this Mandela effect shit is fucked up because it coins everybody in the same slot, and it's not like that. Some people just get numbers. Some people just get nature. Some people just get what they get. Whatever that individual thing is. Don't ever make anybody else feel bad because they remembered something and then you don't, or you remember something and they don't, and now you're mad at them for what? They're not supposed to remember. That's not their job to. They have a job. And their job is to do something else, to remember something else. It's individual, man. That's why I don't like names. I don't have a name. I call it the douchebag effect.
Yeah, that's why I like certain things where they talk about like Ronald McDonald, Star Wars, all the kind of stuff. It's because I grew up on these, and then
that's your thing.
I'm more in tune of figure out what's true and what's a science behind it.
Yeah. That's your thing. And because I worked at the Aerospace Museum, I'm a nerd with the space shit. I could see all the changes with the space stuff. It's easy for me like that. I worked at a Smithsonian Institute. That's exactly what it was called, Eric. I worked there. So I can tell you about a lot of the vertebrae that have changed, but nobody else sees it.
And here's the cool change that nobody really even talks about, and it's what I like about certain channels where I could get this from. So Star Wars had these black lines on the side. Now back in 1978, they actually they're not real holes. They're stickers because they couldn't afford to make all these helmets that actually looks on the inner. But there's modern day pictures that is blue, but in the movie they're black. So this speaks to me in a lot of ways, like Bob, like you're saying now. Since it speaks to me, makes me wanna watch the movie to find out that Luke, the word Luke has changed. Now the leg is nothing for me, but the word Luke, I'm your father, definitely has changed because I remember hearing Luke because I saw the movie 10 million times, even at the theater. But when you do modern day changes like this, it makes you go back and like, what?
And it changes. Yeah. Now throw away the Luke, I'm your father, and ask yourself the question: why does he say no? I'm your father. Why does he say it like that? What's that significant about? Because that change is important. That's the communicator right there.
The word
that's
no.
The communicator.
Because
and you don't even need to remember that, but ask yourself, why are if you don't have that memory and it's always been no, I'm your father, then ask yourself, why are these other fuckers, weird fucking nerds, remembering it the other way? What's so significant about the no, I'm your father? There's a code in there.
There is. There is, right? When you say no, that means you're disagreeing with you.
You're disagreeing.
No. But there was nothing that was being said to be disagreeing to say the word no.
Yeah. That's the thing. We talk about decoding. Well, that's your message for yourself. What does it mean to you? And it should only be to you and only you. Join a group and have a good time with the other ones and have a laugh. But some messages are for people as an individual. It means something to them. There's a favorite show they've always watched, and all of a sudden it's changed for that person. Their favorite song. Well, what does that favorite song mean to you as an individual? Because I don't know that song. It didn't mean shit to me. So when the change comes, I'm like, I don't care. But it means something to you, the individual that got the change. And you were supposed to find it. Whatever this thing is, wanted you as an individual to find it.
I think you just said the whole point.
Yeah.
So many things, and then so many people jump on these bandwagons. Kind of like I kept saying, like I kept saying, like Nelson Mandela himself. Come on, really? In the 80s and 90s, you guys were following a guy named a guy who wasn't even prime minister yet, that he's fighting against his government. We really cared about this from Africa? No, we did not.
Well, he died on a 13th. His daughter died on a 13th, and his son died on a 13th. 007, we just found out 007 just died this year. Remember, Sean Connery just died this year. It meant something. I meant something to me. He died on the 31st of October during a blue moon, and when you do the date, it comes out to 007. Sean Connery, 007.
Let's answer this as the last question of today's show.
Okay.
And then we're going to end the show. Now, he wrote, a reset is happening. Now, I want to ask you, Bob.
Yeah.
I heard this from a lot of people. A reset is happening. So, and I don't. There's a lot of people who think they know what it means, but they really don't. They're afraid to ask. So I'm going to ask you, Bob. When people make that comment, a reset is happening. What is he talking about?
As an individual, and it's just me.
Your opinion. Your opinion.
I've always had a lot of crazy dreams. Yeah, it is happening. Not in the way where people think it is. It's a word. So a lot of people, one word can translate to 1,000 different ways for a lot of different people. That's just the word that's being flown around. I know something's happening because before 2016, this shit wasn't happening. And now it's constant 007, constantly happening. Again, going back to that good example, Don brought it up. Sean Connery, when you do the death date, we hit a little thing on it, it comes out to 007. What is the mathematical probability of Sean Connery dying and having his thing come out to 007. What is all the certain deaths that have certain numerical value? What is Franz Ferdinand driving, getting shot in his fucking car during and then starting World War I, and on his license plate having the end date of World War I, on Armistice Day, the Armistice Day on his car. He gets assassinated, it starts World War I, and then the war ends, and there's the fucking Armistice Day. I'm like, what's the mathematical probability of that? This whole goddamn thing is one big ass matrix. Of course something's happening. It doesn't mean, I'm not going to sit here and say this is all for nothing. I'm not going through insanity and looking like a nutball on camera and putting myself out there like a fool and having enemies that I don't like enemies, but I got them now for no reason. I shouldn't have any, but I have them because of this thing. Because of this thing happening. So there better be a damn reset. Something better come out about it.
You know, people are afraid that we're stepping on what they think is true, but we all know they're just lying and saying true things just to get subscribers, but we don't care about that. But Bob, I'm going to put my email address in the chat because Friday's show is going to be a little interesting, and I need people to tribute to a topic that you actually came up with to me, and it's a pretty good topic that we should talk about on Friday. We're going to be talking about there's so many airplanes, according to you, that were created but were never actually used. So what I'm asking is, if any of you guys know about certain planes out there that technically were created and were never used, email it to us. And Bob might already have it on his list.
That's crazy.
But Bob might not have that on his list. So if you guys have planes that were technically supposed to have been created and was never used, and the plane actually has a name that we can look up, please email that to me.
Yeah, even if it's not just something that you have, again, we're not like that kind of channel. You guys are like, I don't remember this plane. I just want to know if anybody else doesn't remember this plane. So I don't feel crazy. That's how it works. I don't remember this plane. Could someone else chime in on this one? Do you remember this plane? Because there's a lot of planes that I worked at an aeronautical museum, and I'm like, I don't remember these fucking planes, and I can tell you why. Again, people from the 9/11, whatever community, why aren't they still, nobody's making any rant screams about the planes changing that went into whatever Twin Apples. It used to be a 747. Now it's a 767. There were no 767s ever in my fucking reality.
That's what we're going to talk about. Hey, some guy, the truth wrote, reset is not happening, and I respect your opinion. That's awesome. That's why we asked the question.
I don't want things to happen bad. I want things to happen good. So again, I'm not supporting anything bad.
No,
if it's a reset.
So if you guys have interesting planes that we should know about, please email it to me, and then we're going to go from there on Friday. And looks like Juan says airplanes on Friday. Yes, awesome sauce. And not just planes are not being used. Well, Bob just said that a plane has changed during one of the most dramatic things that's written down in history of
no one's saying anything about it.
And people are more talking about bodies or no bodies, but nobody's really talking about the plane that now is a different plane.
It was a 747, and then there was a 747 that went into the Pentagon, and now it's a 757. A 757 went into Pennsylvania. Anyway, I talked about all that.
You guys is missing Smuthin.
Summit. Oh, it's his codes. His codes are good.
I love his codes. So beyond that, guys, we're going to end the show today. I think today was very interesting. So many different point of views, different topics, nerd talk. We even had some nerd talk in it, which I think it was cool. So beyond that, we're going to talk about planes on Friday, normal time. No 2 hours later at the normal 11 a.m. Pacific time. So beyond that, guys, have a good one.